having a podcast with the kid. His name's Andreas. Very smart dude. He's had such a level of success in the past 7 months. Insane. Started from nothing. Insane. But with fast success, it's not always a good thing, because with fast success, it creates ego, huge ego. And I know this. We've had huge success with Astro Blaster, but I got caught up, and we weren't able to, fulfill on every client. So providing that level of service at mass is definitely something that has been a real challenge for us. But we're very close to cracking the code. We're very close. And I've said this many times with the team, but this time I really feel like we're very close to cracking the code. And again, this is the story I'm gonna be telling. This is the story I'm gonna be telling. I haven't been investing as much as my time in self-education as I liked. I definitely need to be investing more in self-education, to learn more, to learn the skills required to go to the next level. That's something I've been really overlooking. It's like, I think I've learned everything. No, you haven't, Andy. You have not learned shit. You've made some money, but you know very little about, a lot of this space. So sometimes, I gotta humble myself. I'd be like, I don't know shit. I may know something, but I am nowhere near close to my potential. So I have to pour ridiculous amounts of money to learn and learn and learn and learn. And I thought I learned quickly, but man, this guy was on the ball, very on the ball. I gotta take more courses. I think I'm gonna join SAS Academy. I think that's where I'm gonna go. This SAS Academy. Let me mark that on my SAS. Once I get to a red light, I'm gonna mark that. I'm gonna try to book a call with them. But I definitely want to join SAS Academy, because they're pretty much a company, they're pretty much an academy for people like me. So I need to invest time and energy and money there so that I can learn the skills required to stop client churn. Because I think I know shit about it, but I don't. I really don't. Or at least I do, but I need reinforcement on my decisions. So actually, I'm glad we're doing this, talking a lot of videos, because now it's kind of really dissecting me as a person and what, I should be doing. I was in the shower today after my cold plunge, and I'm listening to like a video from Alex Hormozi, and it's one of his really, the best videos that resonated with me the most was like the 28 ways to stay poor. And I started thinking like, what are like all the ways I can, destroy my company? Well, I'd be very distracted with low leverage activities. I wouldn't, give one-on-one support to every client. That's how you lose them. Because like I started listening on these things, and it's like, I found out that humans were so good at, finding problems rather than actually having solutions. So this is what Charlie Munger does, is that he developed this thing called inverse thinking. It's not rocket science. It's really just finding all the problems to something. Like, it's like, how do I instead of saying like how to have a good marriage, say what are all the ways I can destroy my marriage, or like what are all the ways I can destroy my business. And like you can start easily listing out all these problems, because for some reason us humans are much better at doing that instead of actually providing solutions. So what you do is you list all the problems, and then you just do the opposite of what you just listed. So if it's like, don't provide one-on-one support, opposite of that is provide one-on-one support. So like that version of thinking is something I applied to, not recently, but something that I've kind of traced back to now. Was like, to solve problems, you kind of have to think of all the problems, and then, or to solve something, you have to think of the problems or the ways you'd kind of make it go wrong, and then do everything you can to just flip the problem, or flip the inverse of it, and then now you have the solution for that problem. So it's called inverse thinking. It's by Charlie Munger, and that's a really great way of thinking. Is thinking, listing out all the possible problems, all the possible threats to something, and then just doing the opposite of them. And that's how you solve it. Is you just flip them. You just do the opposite of the problem, which is usually the solution. So SAS Academy, yeah, I'm red light now. Yeah, I'm gonna download SAS Academy and see if I can connect with other players in the space that are also doing this, or like doing this like SaaS model where we're kind of text message driven. I know a lot of places where we can definitely improve, but we're starting to scale up the marketing side, which is great. But I'm pretty much in charge of customer fulfillment, all that. So customer fulfillment is definitely another story. So again, I've said this before, but if the value is lower than the price they paid for, then they will churn. They will cancel, they will leave. If worse, they'll refund and dispute. So we need to make sure there's as large of a gap between price and value as possible. So the value has to be so much more higher than the price that they're paying for. Any frustrations will exponentially actually decrease that gap. So I, again, have to invest. The thing I feel like I'm missing is I'm not investing enough in self-education. I felt like, I've learned everything. I felt like I'm on top of the world. And that's what kind of fast growth does to you, is that like you feel like you don't need to learn anymore. You feel like you've kind of made it, which is completely false. And I've 100% not made it, and I need to learn more. I need to learn the skill sets required to get to the level where I want to go, and learn from the people, pay the people's time that have already been there, have done it, and pay for their time. And because that payment is nowhere close to how expensive mistakes can be. So it's really important that I get on that. So I'm gonna join SaaS Academy. Now this thing reminds me to is book a call with them, pay whatever they want to need. So just to learn everything about it, about what they do at SaaS Academy, what we'll learn. I think the biggest thing, we don't really need to worry about marketing. Marketing is handled, but what I'm really more kind of interested in is how to stop customer churn and how to really equip our customer success people to really, really excel and to really make sure that the experience for our people is amazing. So that's something I'm going to join ASAP, and then maybe hopefully I connect with Dan Martell, which would be pretty insane, because Dan Martell is also someone I really listen to, because he's a very smart dude. He's actually at a couple of software companies, which is very rare in business in general, is people actually exiting software companies. It's so rare to see them actually exit and actually have a successful exit. It's a lot more common to see, service-based businesses exit, but it's a lot rarer to see SaaS companies exit, because it's just so hard to be categorized as a SaaS. Like, in order to be actually sold as a SaaS, your annual churn has to be below 10%. That means if you start out with 100 customers and a year later you're at 85, you will not be considered a SaaS company. You'll be considered a service-based company. So that's really something that is really huge, because our churn is much more than 10%. We have, I think, an average churn, or average time a client stays or user stays with us is like 6 months, which is like really, I mean, it's not bad, it's also not great. It's because like that means because like usually if someone fully adopts our platform, it's very difficult for them to move off it. So it's like after it shouldn't be measured in that way. It should be like, after they stay for 3 months, they're locked in pretty much forever. So like, how can we make sure that first 3 months is the most unforgettable experience ever, and making sure that because after 3 months they're chilling, because they're gonna have plenty of user adoption. They're gonna be like, hey, even if I did find a better solution, it would be impossible for me to move out, because I've done so much with this platform. So really making sure, especially that first 30 days, is something super special for them. So that's something that we're trying to focus on. And right now, the biggest hurdle and what's causing the biggest frustration is going to be A2P, which is application to person. And right now, we're lubricating the process by automatically generating them A2P compliant websites. Let's see. Let me send this link to my EA. Don't do what I'm doing right now. I'm just gonna send that to my EA. Get that done. A little late, but that's that. So automated user website generation. So any new user that signs up, always get like a tongue twister on that, but any new user that signs up, we automatically create a website, and it's automatically A2P compliant for them, so that they don't have to create or set to connect domains, don't have to do any of that. They don't have to buy a domain, they can buy it later. just to get ATP approved first, we pretty much will take the hit. Well, not take the hit, but like we'll submit with our own creative website for them.